There is no elite in Nigeria, or at least there are very few elites in Nigeria. What we call elites in Nigeria are a bastardization of the word itself. What qualifies one to be an elite? One, wealth, which is what most of them have, some of them stolen wealth from the national coffers. Two, education, intelligence, which is the most important factor to be regarded as an elite. Contribution to the society, high status and occupation, privileged background. These are some other factors, but the most important one that qualifies one to be called an elite is your intelligence quotient, your IQ, and your contribution to the society. So what qualifies these people will call elites in Nigeria as elites? Welcome to the Diary of a Broken Man, where we dissect political, economic, and social issues concerning our country, Nigeria, and Africa as a whole. As usual, remember to subscribe, to like, to share, and to leave me a comment. I will appreciate that. Now, the word elite has been bastardized in Nigeria. You are looking at some of them bunch of criminals who have stolen the national coffers to the amount that they have bought houses in Europe and America and the UK and have bank accounts in Switzerland and all over the world, and they are called elites. The right word for them should be thieves. Those are the right words for them. Some of them in the north, in the west, and the east support every kind of evil. They are anywhere believers, they support any kind of evil, provided it's their, it's their person. And you remember Karl Marx said that wherever, let me remember the exact statement, that wherever there are jesters in a country, in politics, then the country is bound to be a joke. I think Nigeria is a joke because of the level of, I think critical thinking should be made compulsory in Nigeria, because what we reason, the way we reason is out of this world. I look at this bunch of politicians in Nigeria, these guys who have wrecked the nation. They travel to Europe, they travel to America, they travel to the United Kingdom basically every year, and they go for conferences and they see how beautiful they are. Some of these nations, as at the time we got our independence, we are still farmers. Let's take China, for instance. Let's take Thailand, for instance. Let's take Singapore as instances. These are nations who were worse off than Nigeria as late as 1970s. I remember there is a clip I watched, I will attach it here. As at 1970s, China, mainland China, Shanghai and Guangzhou were still villages. People were still suffering on the streets. What changed? Leadership. Remember that Chinua Achebe in his book, The Problem with Nigeria, stated clearly that the problem of Nigeria is squarely the problem of leadership. And it is true, 100% true. The problem of Nigeria is squarely the problem of leadership. There is a song we used to sing, "Where he leads, I follow." Whatever you see in Nigeria as the kind of docile and the incompetent citizens we have in Nigeria are product of the leadership. If you bring good leaders, they engineer change. They engineer systemic change. And you remember that Darren Acemoglu and James Robinson wrote a book they called Why Nations Fail, and they enlisted two reasons why nations failed and why some nations are prospering. One is an extractive institution and the other is an inclusive institution. The extractive institutions are where a band of few individuals or few group of people gather themselves to steal wealth, manipulate the whole system, and they own everything and they control everything, and probably controlling it without vision and understanding. And then they leave everybody poor and suffering. You take instances from the book where he mentioned the Ottoman Empire and the Chinese Empire as at the 18th century, where they didn't allow the press, the production of books and the printing. They couldn't allow other changes, ships coming in and going out and so on. And so the society remained poor, completely poor, until those changes came. That is the same extractive institution we have in Nigeria. The other is inclusive institution, where we decentralize power and allow accountability, allow understanding and responsibilities to be shared among the brightest of individuals who have ideas and visions, and they drive change in the society. And then the system, because everything is about system, the system builds and engineers change. And so I asked myself, what is the need for the word elite in Nigeria, where we have people without vision in every sphere of government, people who are not thinking, people who are either moronic, or people who are lacking in everything sensible in them. These are the people we call elites in Nigeria. People who go to Asia. I mean, if you look at before Thailand became what they are today, they were farmers, rice farmers. At least I remember they were bringing rice to Nigeria before Buhari or Obasanjo banned it. I don't remember exactly. They were bringing rice to Nigeria, and that was their only source of economy and the economic standpoint. But today, if you come to Thailand, it is the hub of tourism in the whole world. Everybody is rushing to Thailand. It is beautiful to behold. If you go to Thailand, you still see that they are, farmers, peaceful farmers. But one thing changed. They changed and overhauled their system. And that system engineered change. You see an organized society in action. Everything is so organized. The trains are so organized. The buses are organized. Everything works with time. If you are moving from place to place in Thailand, in Japan, and if you have a train at 12, train comes at 12. It doesn't come after 12 or before 12. And if the price is 20 bahts in case of Thailand, or 20 yen in case of yuan or yen or whatever, in case of Japan or China, the price is the same everywhere. The society is so organized. It is not because they are superhumans. Some individuals gathered and they brought out their imaginations. That is why if you go to China, you ask yourself whether you are living in the same universe with them. Where do they get the thinking from? Human brain, capable of doing anything. The infinitesimal nature of the human brain is that it can think out anything and make it happen. So where is the brain in Nigeria? Because obviously the brain is not the problem. We have some of the smartest people in the whole world. Go to the United States, the United Kingdom. In fact, the brain drain is happening in Nigeria because the Nigerian system failed them. So the brain is going to every part of the world to function for them, to build for them, to engineer change for the societies, not Nigeria. Because if they stay in Nigeria, they will be strangulated. Nigeria is that place where dreams die. Dream killer. Not because there are no dreams, not because there are no intelligent people, but because the society stifles dreams. And we still have the word elite. Such a bad word in Nigeria because it's not functional. It is not real. We have a bunch of individuals who have no vision, no understanding of anything. What the only understanding is how to steal money, how to grab power, how to grab it and run with it, how to rig election, how to build thugs and pay propagandists who will be flying out propaganda and lies everywhere. These are the kind of people who have a government in Nigeria. Lying through their teeth. Somebody comes on national TV to lie openly about what is clear, to defend terrorism. These are the people who defend terrorism and who go to negotiate with terrorists. And then they arrest journalists and anybody who dissenting voice, they go after the person with DSS, and some of them who cannot spot terrorists, and they arrest them and they bring them to book. Join me in this discussion. Does the word elite mean anything in Nigeria? Do we have elites? Or we have a bunch of criminals who regard themselves as elites? Remember to subscribe once more. This is Diary of a Broken Man. Join me in the discussion. Touch the like button, follow, subscribe, like, share, and leave me a comment. And I will see you on the next one. Thank you.